it's Amy. Welcome to Become Your Own Favorite Chef. Yesterday was one of the best days of my life. I entered my first food competition. It was a pie contest, and I mean, I seriously. I made this like garlic pot pie, whatever. Don't care about the filling. What won me that pie contest was this crust. I spent like 4 days working on this crust, and it ended up being amazing. 2 reasons. I used butter only, no like any other kind of fat, and I used vodka instead of all water. So I'll give you the details later, but the vodka, apparently the science behind it is the way that it evaporates, it kind of pushes those big air bubbles and layers, and it makes it just flaky and delicious. Oh, and there was so many consuming layers. Seriously, buttery amazingness. So I had to share this recipe because I wanted to eat some more anyway. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright, step 1 is prep your ingredients. All you need is 2½ sticks of butter, or about 1 1/4 cups. And I want you to cube it up, and I want you to stick it in the freezer for at least an hour, or stick it in the refrigerator for at least a couple hours. I want this almost rock hard solid. Then I also mix 2½ cups of all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 2 teaspoons of salt. Kind of mix those up, and I stick that in the freezer with the butter as well. Having everything as cold as possible is really going to help this pie be as flaky and awesome as it can be. Then in this I mix 1/4 cup of vodka with 1/4 cup of water, and guess where we're putting it? In the freezer. Alright, so I've kept these in the freezer for about an hour. Everything is really cold. All we're going to do is we're going to mix all these ingredients into a food processor. I'm going to pulse a couple times. I'll drizzle in our vodka water mixture, and if I need to add any extra water, I will. A tablespoon at a time. I'll kind of show you the consistency we're looking for. So let's get this started. What you're looking for is a texture that looks like pea-sized pieces of butter in there. That's awesome. But you also want it to be able to hold together. Right now it's not really holding on its own. So I want to take a tablespoon, drizzle that in, another one if I need to, until the texture's right, and I'll show you what that looks like when we're there. Okay, I ended up putting about 4 tablespoons in there. Yesterday I didn't have to have any. Really, it has a lot to do with the humidity and the temperature. It's a little unpredictable, but look at this. I'm being able to ball it up and it stays together. That's what you're looking for. Alright, immediately we're going to put some flour on your surface. We don't have to knead this dough. In fact, you don't want to over knead it because you want to keep that butter really cold. And your hands will just warm it up. And you'll notice, let me get my blade out. In a food processor, you know, not everything mixes perfectly, and you can certainly mix all that with a pastry cutter or a fork, but this is so much faster. So all I'm doing is going to get all this mixed up. I'm going to form it into 2 even-sized balls or discs, wrap it in saran wrap, and refrigerate it for at least an hour. The longer you refrigerate, though, the better. And you can actually keep it refrigerated. I've kept it in there for 4 days and it turned out fine, but if I was going to keep it any longer than that, I'd stick it in the freezer. I don't want to make anybody sick. Good enough. Just going to take a knife and slice it down the middle. If you do this, this will make you the top and the bottom of a very large pie. And maybe a little extra. You're done. In the fridge for an hour, and then I'll bake some. Alright, it's been an hour. Again, you can keep this in the refrigerator longer and it'll get better. We just want all that butter to be as cold as possible so that when it cooks, it melts at just the right time to make it flaky and delicious. But, I'm hungry. And I want to show you how beautiful this stuff is. So, if you don't know how to roll out a pie, I'll show you. Make sure you flour everything really well. I'm just gonna do a little bit of this. I had like 30 pies yesterday. I'm not really in the pie mood right now, but I can always eat a little extra crust. So we're just gonna roll this out. We'll cut out some little pieces. Okay, again, not doing anything fancy here, but can you see, I'm not sure if you can you see the like pieces of butter through that dough? That's amazing. That's exactly what you want. And notice how easily that rolled out. Thank you, Vodka. All right. Make sure your oven's preheated to 350. And again, I am just making some things right now for a snack. So I'm just going to cut out some shapes, do whatever I want here, not making a pie, just having some fun. All right, I'll just cook these for now. Again, I just kind of want to show you how amazing this pie is. When you do cook it, what I like to do for the bottom crust, especially if you are making a pie that's very moist, like a chicken pot pie or a berry pie, I like to bake or blind bake the bottom part of it first. So if I was making a pie like the pie I made yesterday, I would lay out a big crust in a pie pan or cast iron skillet, and then I would take some wax paper, kind of wad it up, make it flexible, lay it down there, put some dried beans inside. And that's going to keep the pie from puffing up as you cook it. Also poke some holes in it with a fork. And then I cook that for like 10-15 minutes first, kind of let that get hard so that you've got a really crispy crust on the bottom. And then for the top layer, I always do an egg wash. Egg wash, for me, I just whisk up one egg. I don't add anything else to it. Put a good thick layer of that on there. This is going to make it beautiful and brown. And if I'm making a savory pie, I would put some sea salt on the top. If I'm making a sweet pie, I put some sugar on the top. So I'm just gonna eat these. I think I'll go with some salt. I did not spray this pan. There's so much butter in here that it's not gonna stick. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna stick this in the oven. It's preheated to 350 degrees. I'm guessing it's gonna take about 15 minutes, but I'll write a little comment once I'm done to let you know for sure how long it took to cook this. But as soon as it's golden and risen, you're golden, and you're about to have the best pie crust of your life. All right, just got this baby out of the oven. It did take about 20 minutes. Boom.